All right, so I realized that the last video cut out and had me like doing all kinds of crazy faces, so sorry about that. But let's finish up here. So we talked about this idea of power velocity at lactate threshold and how power velocity at lactate threshold is one of the primary determinants of endurance performance. Here's a simple test where they did time to fatigue as their endurance performance, and they measured their velocity at lactate threshold here, or their VO2 max at lactate threshold. And what they found is that that's a really tight correlation for people. Each number is an individual, and you can see that all of those numbers are along that line, and they all go in this linear fashion. So the higher your velocity at lactate threshold, the greater your time to fatigue or your endurance performance. Okay, so velocity at lactate threshold is one of the biggest things that's going to push, physiologically going to determine whether you come first or second or third or last. Because all of the athletes at a certain level are going to have a certain VO2 max. At the high school level, you all have this lowish VO2 max that's good, better than average, but it's not elite. But then at college, it's going to be higher. At the Olympics, it's going to be even higher. And then once you've got that, you've made and you've anteed up and you've got into the game, now it's going to be other things that are going to determine that. And the best determinant is your velocity or your power at lactate threshold. All right, so those are the physiological components. How about the neurocognitive component? We've all experienced this where you go out and you're so tired because you've had to listen to something like me drone on about boring stuff that you're not necessarily, and then you go out and you're going to go for a run. So I'm going to go out and run for a run, but oh man, I had to sit in those meetings all day. I'm mentally tired. You can't run as well. You stop early. And Sam Macora, who's an Italian researcher who lived and worked in the UK for a while, did a beautiful study where he actually measured this and quantitated this. So what he did is he took two groups of people, and in one he had them watch cartoons or do a video game or something simple and really not mentally taxing. In the other one, he did a very mentally taxing thing that you had to do on the computer where you had to concentrate really hard, and you had to touch different things, and you had to do all this different stuff that caused you to be mentally drained. And then he had them do exercise, and he had them do a progressive exercise test. And what he did is he measured rate of perceived exertion. How hard are you working? And you pointed the scale, and the ones who had done the mentally fatiguing protocol beforehand, they always felt like the work was harder than the ones who had watched cartoons. And then when they went to failure, so go as far as you can, go as hard as you can, go as long as you can, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. The ones who did the mentally fatiguing exercise stopped about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes earlier than the ones who didn't. So what this tells us is that as much as your brain is not necessarily what you're going to run with, your brain is the primary determinant of your performance. Because if you want to run faster than you've ever run before, you have to overcome all of these things within your brain that tell you if I go out that fast, you're going to be tired at the end, you're not going to make it, you're not going to do this. All of that self-doubt. If your brain is tired, you're not going to perform as well. All of those things contribute to your performance. So if I want you to perform your best, I'm going to have you watching some light cartoons, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, listening to your music. You always see the guys going in the Super Bowl or the NBA championships. They have their headphones on and they're just going in, trying to be totally relaxed. Mentally, brain is clear, ready to perform at your best. And that's a really key component for endurance performance because you're going to be out there for 2 hours running your marathon. Are you going to be out there going, oh God, I feel horrible. Oh my God, this is awful. Oh, this. The greatest marathoner of our generation who just ran under 2 hours for the marathon, he runs with this big smile on his face. And it's scientifically proven now that if you run with a smile on your face, it's easier to run. You can run farther, you can run faster. Because your brain is intimately connected with your effort level and how hard you can go and how long you can go and how easy or hard it is to do your exercise. So if you overcome your brain, your body's dead easy. All right, so like before, here are the take-homes from this one. We didn't talk about a little bit of the lactate, but it's not bad for you. It's actually something that's really good. It goes up as you exercise harder because you produce more of it because you use the bigger, stronger muscle fibers that have fewer mitochondria. And you don't recycle it as much because you don't put your blood to your liver and your kidneys where you turn that lactate back into sugar. Okay, so it goes up at the end, but it doesn't have to do with soreness or muscle injury or any of these things. It's just a byproduct. And it's actually, if you don't have it, you can't exercise as long, right?